Hi everyone, how are you? Hi Ria, you look the words right. You took the words right off my mouth with the title. I couldn't agree more. Hi Ria, thank you so much. So appreciate that. So guys, I have to do this live like this because today in the afternoon my internet totally went off on me. So when something goes up, something really goes down. And so until I fix and figure out my internet, I have to do this like this. That's why I cannot do this too long. And I really will try hard to see the chat here. But if I cannot get back to your chat, please write it in the comments. And so I can get back to you on that. It's just very difficult right now. I hope I can see it. I see Ria's comment here. So guys, the reason why I wanted to do this right away is because today in the Camry trial was declared as a mistrial. Duh, right? Like, what did we expect? And again, how many times in this trial I said, didn't I say it? Didn't I say it? I kept repeating and kept giving the example of Johnny Depp trial, right? Because in the Johnny Depp trial, what happened was the media was directly involved in the justice system, and that's the topic of this video. And I do hope that this video will be shared wide, and so that the officials can do, also the Congress can do something about it, because the justice system in the 21st century cannot work like this. The media and the social media is influencing justice system, the justice system. The good, the bad, the ugly. Let's talk about the good. The good is it was awareness. Then we need to stop them. We need to stop it right there and just let justice take place. The campaigning and all the schnick-schnack around it, and the YouTubers and the whatever, social media TikTokers and Instagrammers, the influencers, just literally manipulating the jury. In this day and age, in the 21st century, there is no getting off of news, getting off of social media, getting off of, and don't think about it. If you see anything, ignore it. Just what are we talking about here? Tell me one single person on this planet Earth who actually just like can ignore all the, whatever it comes up, it pops out of nowhere on your phone. And that's the reality. And that's what we need to address in this day and age, in the 21st century, in 2024. What are we doing in the justice system here? There is no justice. Either way is just pushed and muddled into some social media and media mess. Justice for whom? For nobody. And that's exactly, and this is, didn't I say it? If these people, the media people, the media, whatever, who is covering this nonstop, as well as the YouTubers, the lawyers, right, who just doing all of these live streams and like, let's do the recap, as if people are so dumb and not being able to watch the live stream, just how to make money off of this, right? Making money off of trials. And so just like, let's do the recap, and the lawyer sits there and watches with you for 4 hours and just says nothing. Like, what are we talking about here? And so when we do these types of influence, and I kept saying these medias and the social media people, in the influencers, the lawyers, the YouTubers, what have you, will you take responsibility? Will you take responsibility in this mistrial? I'm asking you directly, will you take responsibility of this mistrial? Because you guys, I directly influencing the jury. Full stop. Full stop. What are we talking about here? And so it is absolutely either way mind-blowing, right? Like, just, okay, let's go step by step. First of all, the judge. The judge did a correct analysis of the whole scenario, and she did what she needed to do, and she did it accurately, correctly. And I keep saying it not because of she's just like, oh, so unbiased. It's because she does not want to get drowned in the history, and she doesn't want to disturb her career. That's her point. And that's why she did what she needed to do, and that was correct what she had to do. That was good. That was okay. But again, it's not about the justice system. It's because of her career and the way she didn't want to just go in history with some total biased background in history. So that's that. Okay, next step. So let's talk about in the jury, the people who were for guilty, right? So here's the thing though, either two things, either you're so dumb, you're ultra dumb, and not realizing how this whole thing is such a deep mess with made up stuff, and you cannot analyze the basics of anything. If that's the truth, just how are these people even be selected if they cannot just distinguish between what is real and what is just like made up shit? That's that. And the second thing is, there is a high possibility, because these are from the community, they know the other people, and they totally are biased as well. And again, how are these people even sitting in the jury then? Actually, number 3 is that, was it possible that these juries' information were leaked from the DA's office, from the, I don't know, prosecution into the other side, and there was some influence? Possible. Why not? Hello, what have we seen here in the whole thing? Manipulation after manipulation, after leaking, after manipulation. So why not? That's 3 sides, 3 options from the guilty perspective. Not guilty perspective, well, you might see everything what we have seen. Oh, actually, let's go back also to the guilty part. Maybe number 4 can be that maybe they just didn't like Karen Reed, and they just analyze straight up and see, and you know how the O'Keeffes were just looking right straight up in their face of the jury, if they manipulated that, or if they just didn't like her. These are the 4 options for the guilty ones. For the non-guilty ones, they saw obviously what we have seen and just put pieces together. It didn't just add up. Nothing added up in this trial. So, and you cannot also tell me that the second option, they were not influenced by the whole shebang. Either they were or they were not. I'm giving you 2 options. Either they saw what we saw and they said, okay, this is just doesn't make any sense, like 0, none, nothing. Or they said, okay, you know what, I'm in this pool of this one side and just like get it done. So that's that. Number 4, actually which is the, yeah, exactly, number 4. Number 4, let's talk about the brother, okay, Paul. Okay, that's it. I gotta say something about this right now, because enough is enough. What is your problem? I asked this a million times. What is your problem? Why are you upset so much that you just almost as if want her in jail? Like, what is your problem? Are you manipulated by your wife? Let's don't even go there because I have tons of things to say about her. What is the problem? What is your problem? Are you deep involved in these people? I mean, what are you actually trying to accomplish here? You want someone in jail. Why her? Why her? Are you not in the room? Can you not see the, I mean, don't you see the evidence that we have seen? Listen, when someone says like, okay, you know what, this is his brother and whatnot, listen, justice is important here. And I will give you an example for that. He does act like he hates her more than getting the bottom of what really happened. Exactly. 100%. This is just getting nuts. Like, as if he's like, damn, she's not in jail. Like, wait a minute. Okay, let me tell you exactly, giving you an example about this. If you tell me, okay, this is his brother and he wants, in all of that, listen, let me give you an example for this. I gave you before this example. But when the oldest, hi Gary, thank you so much. I totally agree with you. Thank you guys, thank you. So when I give you an example before and give you this example again, when my cousin, the oldest of the Shahin's family, right, the oldest cousin of us, he was loved by everyone, the entire, not only are all of our Shahins, but also like from everyone, friends and acquaintances and family friends and relatives. He was loved by everybody. And when he died, and I told you about his car accident when he died, that was in 2001. I still, actually, I'm going to choke right now when I'm even thinking about this, because he's an avid driver. All of our family members, like pretty much all of us, we are good drivers. And he was a long distance driver. He was driving across Europe like non-stop. So he was like an avid driver. He was really good driver. So, and he was driving for a 14-hour ride in a car. And so he was close to come home, and he was already 12-hour drive, and he was on the driver's seat, and then next to him and in this back seat there were a couple, like an engaged couple, one of our far relatives, very young couple. And so and he took them also with them, just to have a fun ride together, just because they were around in the neighborhood, and they said, okay, why don't you just drive with us, like just for fun? And they were just driving back home. And so the last 2 hour or one and a half hours of the ride towards coming home after a 12-hour ride, the last 1.5 or 2 hours, they said, okay, why don't we switch? So this dude switches, a young man switches over, and he starts to drive, and my cousin, he sits on the side next to the driver's seat. And this girl, she is still in the back seat. And so he drives, And then for some reason he gets the car out of control, and then the car falls down off the road, and yeah, they were all unconscious. And so some people on the highway, they stopped by and they just asked, call the ambulance and what have you, and they thought my cousin was dead. So when they took him into the ambulance, they took him straight up to the morgue. So then they tried to resuscitate the boy, the man. And so then they thought my cousin was dead, and so he was in the morgue, going down the morgue, and then they tried to resuscitate the dude. And then when they realized I'm sorry, this was like, sorry, it was the opposite. So they thought the dude was dead, so they put him in the morgue, but then they tried to resuscitate my cousin. And then when they realized that this dude actually was alive, and then my cousin died, so they kind of flipped it and put my cousin in the morgue, and this dude was then alive. And so then these young couples, you know, when I was actually in Germany at that time. I mean, I had even no idea, and I couldn't fly over to see him for the last time. And years later, not years later, maybe a year or so later, or two, when I flew over but also in Europe, so flew over to my parents' house, and then I did a visit to that couples, like the relatives that belongs to those couples. And I saw in the picture on the wall, these couples are like married, you know. And then I was so mad. I was so mad that, you know, that my cousin died and they just lived on their lives. And while he caused him to die. And so I was so mad. And then none of my family members, like none of all of our relatives, like my cousins, he was like the son of my uncle, and so nobody in our family ever question anything about this. No charges, no investigation, no even like it's your fault. Never ever question anything. They all said it was an accident. And I couldn't believe, like, how can you guys be so easy about this? Like, how can you just not, like, be so easy about when you see this picture on the wall, getting married, and they are just living happily ever after, smiling, like a nice couple, like smiling. And so while they caused my cousin to die, who was loved by everybody, no one, and they said, what can we do? It was an accident. To date, I still cannot get my head around seeing that picture on the wall, so happy and people living their life, and everybody says it was an accident. So I know exactly how that feels. But, you know, justice, you know, you want justice, but at the same time, when it is what it is. And so we can't force anyone to go to jail, because the facts are the facts, right? So you gotta live with that. And coming back to Paul, I understand you wholeheartedly. I understand you, but at the same time, you need to understand that the facts are the facts, and you should refrain yourself to even side with anyone. That's not your job. Let the public, let whoever the hell be sided on your behalf, or not about on your behalf, but your job is to seek justice, and whatever the justice is, either to push for justice or just live by it. You gotta accept what it is, or you press charges and push DA office to actually answers and said, what the hell is this? These are all made up stuff. Who killed my brother, right? You just need to ask these questions if you are so, but you just cannot go around and just want someone in jail because you look like you hate her, and that's what it is. You want her in jail because you look like you really, really hate her. But again, you wouldn't look like this in the beginning of the trial. And that's your wife comes in. Someone poisoned you so bad that you cannot even see left and right. You cannot even see what's truth and what's not truth, as if your eyes are totally blurred. Who poisoned you? You need to understand that. And again, I keep saying this, people need to just shut the hell up and not divide this public opinion too much, influence too much, and just infuse so much deep into the jury. Look at this. Look at this. This is a hot mess. It's a hot mess. It's a hot mess. This is not, and then, oh, the Karen Reed people, oh, that's not what we wanted. Oh, yeah, duh. And the media now just like acting, oh, like the sad voices and these and that. It's all your fault. The Law and Crime Network, literally, I coincidentally sound this morning, you just like click on the video and then this gigantic chat pops up, and it pops out a poll and says, what do you think? Guilty, not guilty, hang jury. And then 24,000 people voted this morning. 24,000. What are we doing? What are we actually doing? Will you media people, will you, this lawyers, YouTubers, whatever, will take responsibility in this? Or the people who are just like, will you take responsibility for this? You are not helping. You help to push this stuff forward. Okay, fine. Then shut up and just wait and let the jury do the job. It's the true, the good, the bad, and the ugly. It's the ugly now. And history repeats itself. I kept talking about the Johnny Depp trial. The Johnny Depp trial was a completely, and people hated me about this, when I kept saying it was my most hated video on the history of my channel. Because I spoke the truth and I said, this is BS. This is totally biased. And people are like, yeah, no, exactly that's what it was. A totally biased trial. Both sides were totally in hot mess. It's not just her. Both sides. There were things that he did, there were the things that she did, and so that's what it is. But even though it wasn't like one person or the other person, it was not the public's job. The public needs to understand, to shut up and to understand that at this day and age, there is no such thing as I don't hear anything, I don't see anything, I don't know. No. What are we talking about? No. It makes me so mad because every time everything I say is right there. It's right. It's everything I say. Because it's the truth. It's just that not rocket science. But do you know what it is? Do you know why? Because people want to just feel, one, important. And number two, they want to just hold on to something. I kept talking about this in my videos. I keep talking about this in my videos. People want to hold on to something. Why don't you put your efforts into, hello? We have a really serious stuff in the United States going on. An election is coming. We are ridiculed in the entire world. What are we doing? Our taxpayers' dollars flows into the war, and then our taxpayers' dollars flows into aid to the place where we just help to bomb. What? Let me tell you this. Overseas and everywhere, the people make fun of the United States. We are heading into the elections with whom? One is convicted felon, and the other one, son, is convicted felon. What? And both are just like out of their minds. Like, what are we doing? And then in Europe, it's the far right is out of control. Now there are Nazis now in Europe and run Europe. What? If you really want to hold on to something larger where you can make a change and move. This is actually not helping. You did the job, okay, you pushed this forward, got media attention, good. But we need to just like let justice do its job. Or in the second way, the other side of the coin, that I hope that officials finally hear this video and please share it far and wide so that the 2024 in 21st century, the justice system needs to be adjusted to the electronic digital world. There is no impartial justice system. Everyone is biased from left and right in this digital world. This historical justice system is like a joke. It's a joke. So that's what I want to say. I will be here a few more minutes. Let me tell you what you guys are thinking. So let me see the comments. I always thought, Ria says, I always thought it was premeditated, that they were at least going on to hurt him, in my opinion. Yeah, exactly. Let me tell you exactly. I keep saying it. John O'Keefe's problem deep down was, and again, my channel is about sociological and psychological analysis. I don't give a crap about like, let's watch and recap I don't give a crap about that. Go and watch it. That's not my problem. Here we discuss the psychological and sociological impact of all of these cases. For John O'Keefe, what I'm seeing is, and I keep saying this in my videos, his problem was he could not see the red flags. He kept thinking that these people were his friends. They were not. Even when Karen said Maybe true, maybe not, I don't know. Because she seems like she doesn't even remember anything. But she said, are you sure that we are even welcomed here? And that is a very, very important question. So she doesn't feel like they are welcomed. So she was sensing that they are not welcomed. And that's, I think, was the truth. They were outsiders, full stop. They were always been outsider and always have been treated as such. It was a fake day, fake night. It was lured into, it was all set up. I still to date believe that it was not planned. It went too far. They'd want to just like, I don't know, they want to just do something, talk, or even like punch a little bit. But although that's not okay, I'm not saying it's okay, but I think it went out of awry when the dog dived in. The dog dived in. Nobody had counted the dog in when they made the plan. Like, let's lure in, let's do some chit chat. No one, because it's their family dog. They would not think automatically, oh, wait a minute, what about if our dog gets involved and just attacks him? I cannot even think a second that they would think that when they did the plan, if they did the plan. So they went, when the dog got in, it went just too far. And so wholeheartedly, I do not believe that this was a full-blown, a planned thing. It went too far. And so that's why the whole thing, cover up and all that. And guess what about cover up? Literally over the weekend, for some reason, out of nowhere, do you guys remember the Ahmaud Arbery case in Georgia? That took the nation's heart out. I followed that case. Ahmaud Arbery, that guy who, the black young man, 22 years old or 25, who was running and chased after 3 white men who was, with their words, trapped him like a rat and then shot him 3 times. And all of them went to jail. Not only got federal charge, like Georgia charges, state charges, but also federal charges for racism. And so that popped up again on, I think it was Saturday or so, on my YouTube, and I watched it again, and I remembered so much that how this took everyone's heart out, and mine as well. I followed that case closely, and it was so hard. It was so hard to watch. And then, do you guys remember? Go back and watch it. 100% the exact same thing. I was like, oh my God, that father from the shooter. And I kept talking about how, and get this as an example, how narcissistic parents lure their child in so that the child does the job but not them. So he just actually manipulated his and he gaslit his son to just like do, and then at the end the son took the revolver and killed Ahmaud. So that, and the son got charged more than the father, but the father was the one who pushed him to finish the job, right? So, and that's an and we see this across a lot of cases where the parents, the narcissistic parents, make the the children do the job, even though they're adults, because they were manipulated their entire life. So the consequences are always on the shoulders of that narcissistic parent's child. In any case, when he got when the shot was there and he was still alive, breathing, and they didn't care of him, they were just literally interviewing while he was still breathing, and they were interviewing the people. And that father was a what? Cop. He was a former cop, and he called the DA's office. Remember that scenario where the cop called the DA's office and said, here, I gotta talk to you about something. My son got involved in shooting. We need to talk. And then there was the whole cover up. Remember that? History repeats itself, and then the DA's office shut up the case, right? Nothing, the case wasn't even discussed. It was like closed off, and then the mother of Ahmad pushed it, and then the DA's officer changed, and so then the case reopened again. And then after that, the former police officer, his son, and the neighbor got all charged for life without the possibility of parole. And so this is exactly what is it. Again, history repeats itself. The cover-up, the cop calling the DA's office, like, here, let's do something. My son got involved, and then, of course. And while he was still breathing, giving his last breath, nobody even looked at him. It was all on the camera, all on the videos, right? And they were chit-chatting how that happened while he was giving his last breaths. No one looked at him, and they would talk, and then they say, okay, guys, you are good to go, goodbye. That's happened. Go back and watch it. I suffocated again when I saw that. And so, and this is again the whole scenario. Riaz says, so many people have actually inserted themselves in this case, which I believe hurt the case as a whole. Exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying. It's just, why are you so deep in this? What is your problem? What is actually a problem? You need to just look at yourself and say, why am I just so just people are just getting sucked into it so much? Why are people chit-chatting so much about this, and in a fun way? That's more concerning to me when I read the comments on these live chats for watching the fan, 5,000 people looking at the fan and chit-chatting about this. I mean, it's just unbelievable. It's just literally unbelievable to me. Jen McCabe kept trying to get Karen to come from the bar as well. However, Karen felt uncomfortable and didn't go. Exactly. So that thing about you come with me, several times, and pushing and forcing. It gave a lot of followers and money. Exactly what I'm saying, exactly. Let me tell you guys, it's all about the money and the fame and this schnick schnack around. This is just, it's not about the case, guys. Let me tell you this. If especially these lawyers, I don't understand that, I am not even a lawyer. I have nothing to do with nothing. But if I can see it as the justice system being so screwed up, how come that lawyers not even say anything and push this forward, push this further, to keep asking to manipulate the system, including Yaneti? I could be, you say, yeah, keep doing what? Keep doing what? Influencing the jury? Like what? Guys, I keep saying this, I am on nobody's side. I don't care. I am on the side of the truth, the honesty, integrity, and ethics. Nothing else. Justice is justice, whether you like it or don't like it. And that goes for Karen, and that goes for Paul O'Keefe. So, and these people make money off of these cases, drives me crazy. And it's not just this case, it's every single time. Like on the Johnny Depp case, holy crap. How many YouTubers popped out? I cannot even tell you the number. And the trolls were out of control even today. And the Law and Crime Network, and I don't even watch court TV anymore, is just like the Karen Reed expert. Like, we see the Karen Reed expert, like what that dude is doing. I mean, it's just, I don't even watch this stuff anymore. But in this Law and Crime Network, when I just, I only followed the trial the last several days only from the Boston news channels and not from these crime whatever networks or whatever courts, whatever. I don't give a crap, because it's just so ridiculous to me. And so with this Law and Crime Network, when you I clicked on it, and then it's just popped. When this live stream, the live chat pops right in front of you, and like click off. But then I saw, like, literally one person gave twice super chat and said, let's donate, guys, let's donate so that Karen will get her sentence, she's guilty. Donate to what? So she donates and gives twice donations, like super chats, so that and asks everyone to donate, so that donate to where also, like, what you actually giving super chat to the Law and Crime Network, so that organizing the other side. This is just unbelievable to me. That's why I keep talking about, and will talk about this unless this will change. So if you follow or not, I don't know, but for the last couple of years, in the Senate, they were just discussing the how dark money goes into the Supreme Court, right? And so the dark money in Supreme Court, and then there was so many stuff came out, like the corruption in the Supreme Court and what have you. Hello? If the Supreme Court does that corruption, what are we talking about, right? Like the other courts, it's just unbelievable. And are we helping the courts? No. We just pumping that with some oil and feed them with fuel, right? That's not justice. It's just not justice. It's just making money off of people's misery. I keep talking about this. Making money off of people's misery and hurt is the lowest of the lowest of the lowest you can possibly go. In this society, we are doomed for having people like this. and then making fun, making, you know, ha 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 ha, you know, like this, these lawyers on these YouTubers, is just, I don't know. Yeah, I don't think the donations go to her, in my opinion. So the donation were not for Karen. The donations were for the Albert side, so that Karen will go get the guilty verdict. That was the other side giving super chats and saying that let's donate so that Karen found be guilty. Is just crazy. And also, and I think I'm going to end this here. What I was surprised today when they just hugged each other, what have you, and I noticed this for some time. I mean, I have so many things to say, but I will just, like, after this case is finally over, I will talk some more. But here's the thing. I don't know if you noticed, guys, but I noticed this stuff a lot because it bothers me a lot. And I noticed this for really quite some time, like for the last 10 days or so, that why is Karen Reed ignoring Miss Little? Like, why? And when I noticed this a lot during the trial, but when that hugging thing happened today, she was so trying to, you know, touching her, like Miss Little, to Karen Reed like this. So she wants to hug, like she wants to, you know, she kept doing this on her back, and she was just really, she kept totally ignoring her, looked elsewhere, just and hugged Yannetti, hugged the other ones, but not her. She literally, like, totally went other directions, and she was literally behind her and just trying to, you know, just get attention to just, I don't know, celebrate or whatever, hug each other, but she didn't do it. Why? I didn't like this at all. I find this extremely disrespectful. I don't know what happens between her, but I don't think Miss Little is always trying to, I don't know, of course, what happened between them, but at least they were a team. It's a teamwork. It's not a single work. It's a teamwork. And so she was, in her questioning, very efficient too. So just respect, you know, that's a team. It's not just Yannetti, it's not just Jackson, it's her as well. You gotta have a team. It's a console. And so I found this super disrespectful. So, and I have to speak up about this because I hate stuff like that. So this ignoring people, no, you can't do that. Again, there's so many things. It's just, I just don't like the social media aspects to that. I think it hurts the justice system, and I hope that the justice system will understand finally that the 21st century and that in 2024 the digital age is not a unbiased justice system. It's just not. It's just not. So, having said that, thanks guys for being here. Appreciate you, and wish me good luck that my internet will be fixed soon. So take care, you guys. I appreciate you. If you have things to say in the comments, and I will get back to you. Bye bye. Take care.